I take back what I said before. A while back, I made a video about digicams. You know, the small little compact point-and-shoot cameras from the early aughts and 2010s. I threw shade at them, and some people did not like that.
I would say half or 3/4 of the images I shoot with it I really like. But that 25%, that 50% of the time, it reminds me of what it really is a fossil from maybe the worst visual era in human history. The early 2000s were the ugliest time to be alive.
Basically, my point was just that the early 2000s were an aesthetically bad time for society. We dressed super goofy, our movies were yellow and green for some reason, and we got obsessed with some pretty nasty looking HDR photography. But now we're 25 years from the turn of the millennium, and those vibes are kind of back in style. I scoffed at these trends as somebody who was a teenager during that period. But I've been carrying around this Canon PowerShot SD1000. Yeah, SD1000 Digital Elf, the PH. And it's all I want to carry around, to be honest with you. In fact, I have 2 of them. I also had this camera during that video where I threw shade at early digital aesthetic, and I got some good shots with it then. But now it's kind of become an everyday carry, and I want to talk about it. But first, this is Double Negative, a photography podcast by Will Malone, with your host, me, the titular Will Malone. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're smelling what I'm stepping in. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. I think I'm a better photographer when I have a super limited camera. It's probably why I love Polaroid photography so much. I like doing a lot with a little. But also, cameras with a bunch of features can get pretty overwhelming to me. I've never really been a master of all that modern digital cameras offer. I feel like all the options and bells and whistles distract me from looking, seeing. Because seeing is the whole game. Taking a photo isn't about what's in front of you. It's about seeing. It's about what you're seeing right in front of you. You're in a national park? Cool. Don't show me the national park. I can just go there and see it for myself. Show me what you are seeing at the national park. Show me what you're honing in on, what you're noticing. Being able to actually see takes a lot of practice. And it's just way easier when the camera doesn't get in the way. The best time to practice is constantly, with or without a camera. Maybe you're in a restaurant with your family. Look around and notice everything about the restaurant. Flip through photo books. What do those photographers see? And how do they see it? Watch movies. Go on a walk. Scroll through memes. Memes are actually a pretty underrated source of learning to communicate through mostly just images. Sometimes text, but a lot is communicated via images in memes. Photography is a visual art. It's about communicating through visuals only. It's all about what you see and how you communicate that. And film, quite honestly, is a headache. I went through a whole thing on this recently and about how I was carrying around a point-and-shoot film camera on my walks. But it just costs so much money and allows for just a lot of points of failure. Distractions that keep me from noticing things because I'm just so preoccupied with my camera. And honestly, I don't think about this camera at all. I just turn it on and take a picture. I just love it because it's tiny. I can get some pretty fun angles since it's basically a GoPro-sized camera. I can find new ways of seeing, new perspectives, just because I can kind of squeeze it in anywhere. My chance for a stronger image is just way higher when I peel back all the BS of using most cameras. The more bells and whistles, the worse the camera. Bells and whistles are only useful when your particular style requires a certain feature. But I think very few photographers actually need a lot of camera features. I think many photographers nowadays are way too preoccupied with cameras and gear to even think about like what they are seeing or what their point of view is. And I mean, it's not inherently bad to care about cameras a lot. I mean, that's a fun part of photography. But I do think the camera side of the photography world tends to be the most toxic in culture. The camera first crowd has a lot of opinions, but rarely do they have the interesting images to back up their harsh critiques of other photographers. For most people, I just think the less camera, the better. Take it from Miroslav Tiche? Not sure how to pronounce that. He's a Czech photographer who built his own camera and took thousands of images with it. I mean, look at it. It's like made out of trash, basically. Or what about Daido Moriyama? Or Alex Majoli, who went and documented the war in Iraq with a compact Olympus camera. Or Stephen Shore with his Mickey Mouse camera, which is a thing he did carry around. I don't know if I've ever seen any photos that he shot with this camera, but I've heard about his use of this camera, and I think it's pretty funny. We got one goal. We got one job as photographers. Focus on seeing. And cameras like these cut away all the nonsense that you don't need, so you can better do that. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at Will Malone. You can follow my Polaroid Instagram account at Everyday Instant. Make sure to go sign up for my Substack, the Double Negative Dispatch. And I really appreciate you. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again very soon.